Welcome to the National Real Estate Network video training program. This video is part of a series designed to help beginning and experienced real estate investors with the different aspects of purchasing and investing in properties. Be sure to become a member at 27monthlymeetup.com.
Hi, it's Mark Maupin. I'm going to be talking to you about outsourcing your work for your real estate business. This is geared for if you're a new investor or an old investor. It's geared for anybody that's in the real estate business. Actually, it's kind of geared for all businesses. So the agenda for today is we're going to go over the concept of lead generation. We're going to talk about a simple structure, and that was my email I got. We're going to talk about my journey, the good, the bad, the ugly. And we're going to talk about some tips right away that you can utilize for outsourcing. We're going to talk about how you can actually purchase leads like you've never purchased them before, and then do all this through outsourcing. I'm going to talk about all the lessons I've learned over a lot of years. I'm going to give you examples of what to do. I'm going to talk about being in the kitchen and mixing up a formula that you can make money with. I'm going to talk about how to get to the top of Google. I'm going to talk about how to hire myself to do your outsourcing and give you 40 hours worth of work a week for less than $6 an hour. So I'm going to talk about the services you need. I'm going to talk about what comes out of the kitchen when you're in there mixing up formulas. I'm going to talk about utilizing a transaction coordinator, and we're going to talk about getting a virtual assistant. And I've got Maureen here in the audience, so she might interrupt from time to time asking questions and filling you in with information. So I want to welcome all of you, and let's get rocking here. So I want to give you some examples of lead generation that I do, and all of this is being done without me actually doing the work. So all these items are examples of what you can do through outsourcing. So I'm in the towing business. At one point in my career, I had a salvage yard, and I had like 17 tow trucks, so I understand the towing business. So I basically went and organized how to generate leads off the internet for towing. So basically, I want to talk about everything we're going to talk about on this page. What happens is, and I want you to think about it, you want a pizza. So you take your smartphone and you say in your smartphone, pizza. And it says these pizza places are within X miles of you, and then you go there. But pretty much anything you want, like you want hardware, you want that. Or when you go to say, sell my house for cash, cash for my house, cash for your house, what pops up is map locations, and they're at the top. So we'll show you some examples of this later. So I'm an internet marketer, and I work for hundreds of companies, and I'm telling you that service-related businesses and most businesses, what gets the traffic to them is the Google Maps. They're absolutely critical. About 85% of all the calls that go to those maps. So I'm really making a point here. Hang on, we'll turn the volume down. There we go. Okay, so in each case here, I'm doing this for other companies. So with towing, the people who do a search for, they say towing into their phone. There's a map location area that comes up. Those tow calls get forwarded to a company that I have that's buying those leads for $5 a lead, and we make money off of it. To give you an example, I make about $4,000 a month off of that. I'm 100% removed from it. Dumpsters, I'm in 13 states. At one point I had a dumpster company I did work for. They didn't pay me. Said, I'll sell you leads. They didn't pay for the leads. I ended up being a dumpster broker. I ended up selling my dumpster company to another company. After they bought me out, they were like, whoa, what is going on here? Because their volume went up to $1 million worth of sales. They hired me back. They paid me 3% of their gross sales. They provided me the company car, and they're doing $6 million in sales now. So what I'm gonna explain to you how you work this and how you can do it for real estate, I just wanna give you examples of how it works. I do appliance repair companies all over I have one gentleman in Midwest state. He's like we've expanded him out to about 2/3 of the state. He generates over 1,800 calls a month that go over 2 minutes. I have another person in the New York area, same thing. He doesn't have as many map locations, but generates a lot of calls. I have another one in Utah that generates, with having locations of over 40 locations, he generates a lot of money, a lot of calls over 2 minutes, which means they're going to his call center and he's making money. I do it for a charity nationwide. We're in 50 states. I've branded that charity, and they do car donations and real estate donations, and to the tune of about right now about 7 or 8 cars being donated a day. Small accounts, I've got tons of those. Examples of that would be like dryer vent cleaning. I've got 10 of them in 10 states. I'm able to take a small company and expand them out into a much larger playing field. I'm in the retail business with saunas in 40 states. Real estate, I'm in 1 state with 30 map locations, and that's what we're going to really talk about today. So if you're in the real estate business and you're running a retail operation, you've got agents out, you can expand your map locations for listings and retail. But if you're in the find, fix, and flip business or wholesaling business, you can expand yourself out with maps. I'm going to show you how to do that. I do reputation management for people. I do that in all 50 states. I do junk cars in 40 states. And I'm selling those cars to a nationwide buyer. I'm just redirecting the calls to them. Do junk car, I just did junk cars. I do decks here in Michigan. I do painting. I do water softeners. I do facials in Chicago. I do air duct cleaning in 1 state. I do chimney sweep business. I do weight loss. I do septic tank clean out. I do membership sites. So like this video today where we're educating you on how to do all this stuff, we actually record all of our meetings. So we do the find, fix, and flip and the wholesale. We actually give all that information. We do 3 meetings a month. All that information goes to the people that are in our real estate club membership site. They're all recorded. You can go in there and look at it. All the forms we talk about are in there. So that's actually creating a business where what we're talking to you today about, it's actually creating a business of real estate membership site. So I do carpet cleaning, I do roofing, like Mr. Roof I handle for Michigan, window cleaning, real estate clubs, clock repair business in 2 states, car donations we talked about, and clock repair we talked about. So with that said, let's go forward. Excuse me. I had a friend email me, and he was like, so you're going to talk on this today. So he was just giving me an email. This is his email he sent me. So he talked about systems. He goes, you put together a system with people and resources to accomplish something bigger than you. That's really what we want you to do today. So when you guys look at your business and your life right now, you get up every morning. A lot of you are going to a job. Then you're doing the real estate on the side. You're doing it in the evenings, the weekends. And what we're doing is teaching you how to take that business and be able to delegate that business to inexpensive or lower cost help and put a system together that actually works without you. So that's what I want to talk about. Outsourcing is a system where you can delegate the work to other people to accomplish your goals. So outsourcing systems, delegation, the key is, that's the key to your next level of success. And what we're really offering you is a system that delegates the marketing. So you can do your marketing, do lead generation. So think about it, if you're the person that's generating the leads, which is where it all starts, you actually control the business. So when you think about those dumpster company, if I've got, it's my phone lines, my leads, my system, and all those are going into a call center, I'm the guy that controls that business. So when you control the lead, and real estate's about control, it's not necessarily about ownership, but when you can control real estate through an option, through a purchase agreement, you're doing all that without putting any of your money into it, and the call system I'm talking about today, the phone lines only cost you $1 a phone line, and you've got huge upside to all that. You can structure all kinds of things. So think about it. So like earlier I said, I'm in the chimney sweep business. Well, if I ever wanted to be in the chimney sweep business, it only takes a couple $1,000s for the equipment, and I've got 15 locations, and I got the calls coming in, then I can be in that business if I want to be, or I can just generate leads. So if you're serious about growing your business, then listen to what we can do for you. So I'm going to cover my journey for you really quick. Went to college, graduated with a business degree, went to work for Shell Oil Company as an oil company rep, working 80 hours a week because my dad said you got to work a lot of hours when I was raised in an environment like that. But that didn't get me anywhere. I was with the company 2.5 years. I was ranked number 6 out of 6 salesmen, had the highest sales results. Took a Dale Carnegie course, became a graduate assistant for Dale Carnegie, and I'm like glad handing everybody, and I'm all enthusiastic. If you act, what was their clauses? If you act enthusiastic, you'll be enthusiastic. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Dale Carnegie was great. But I quit working the 80 hours. I was only working about 30 hours a week, but I was ranked number 1 in the salesman, and I had won all the trips. And anyway, it worked out good, but I was very unhappy. It wasn't a reflection of the real world for me. So I ended up buying one of my dealers out. Over a period of time, I ended up owning about 10 service stations. Out of owning the service stations, I got into finding stations that I could buy, and I was able to resell those stations. Some of the stations I owned the real estate. So it's kind of like in the 70s, that led me into the real estate business. I was had tow trucks. I towed for 5 or 6 police departments. I ended up getting an impound lot. Then I ended up getting out of the impound lot, I ended up going into the salvage business, ended up partsing 400 cars out a month. Grew that business. My mom got really ill, got cancer. I sold the business for, believe it or not, $1 million, and basically stopped working for a year and spent it with my mom while she went through the stages of cancer. However, I was not a good money manager, and I'm going to tell you right now, when you generate money, you need to stick it away. One of the toys I bought was a Lamborghini, and that was really the dumbest thing I ever did. If you really want to get something, I'm 69 years old today, so I'm telling everybody that's watching this tape, you should watch Dave Ramsey. Listen to him. He's really got a good philosophy. I'm telling you, in real estate, control is what's key. If you're really good at controlling real estate, really good at generating the leads, then you can demand to be a partner with somebody. Now, what is your investment? It's 0. So that's where you want to, in my opinion, push, especially if you're new and starting into this business. So at one point I ran a party store, owned the junkyard, and then I got into real estate. And when I've done stuff, everything I've done in my life, I do it to extremes. So I bought and sold 3,500 pieces of real estate, and my wife gave me a choice of ballroom dance, square dance, or real estate class. Took the real estate class. 6 months later, I owned 26 houses. So do I like to spin plates? Yeah. Those houses turned out to be my best investments. They were all in the Lakes area, suburbs. They grew in good value. I was lucky because I landed a really good wholesale person, real estate agent, and he did me right. So that was just pure luck. So that's how I got into the real estate business. So tips, now, this is really key. So now this is where, as a real estate agent, you wanna start taking advantage of this. There's a site called Fiverr, Fiverr. You can go to Fiverr, and on there, if you go to, doing, this yellow pages, you can scrape the yellow pages, and you can either pay to have it done, or you can buy the software that does it. So I have software and I scrape the yellow pages. So now I'm in Michigan, so I scrape the yellow pages for real estate investors, real estate investing clubs, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, builders, you know, a lot of party store owners own a lot of real estate. So whatever you wanna scrape that would be involved in real estate, then I get their email off of the scraping software, I get their phone number, I get their address. So then if I wanna use a text blast, I can text blast them, I can email them. But what I've done is I've developed a buyer's list. So there's a very quick way for you to get started in developing a buyer's list. You can also hire people on Fiverr. That would cost you $6 to hire somebody to do stuff. So on Fiverr, there's also, we're gonna talk about maps. And to get, remember, I'm gonna show you an example of this shortly. So when you get a map, in order to get the map to come up, because there might be like 100 other people competing with you to be in the map. So if you're a pizza company, when you do pizza in your smartphone, only 3 pizza places come up. There might be 4 or 5 come up because 2 of them might have ads, but they're at the top of Google. So the trick is to be at the top of Google, and I'll show you here shortly. So when you do cash for your house, you might have a lot of competitors, so you have to become very relevant. So on Fiverr, you can buy citations, you can buy social profiles, and they're gonna be the exact same name as your map location, the phone number, and the address, which in some cases is just the city. Excuse me. Then you want to get into, if you want to generate leads, you want to do bandit signs. Bandit signs are the signs that say, you know, they could be like 18 inches by 2 feet, something like that. Then they say cash for your house and a phone number. And when you do the bandit signs, you have the corrugation that goes horizontal, so the wind doesn't bend it, and you put your nails, like roofing nails in it, and you zigzag the nails. And so you pre-punch your nails, you put them up on telephone poles. In the Michigan market, we get into neighborhoods where it's tougher neighborhoods, but we get good deals there. So we put them at the end of the street where the cars are coming out at stop signs. So the cars have to stop, they see the sign. We don't put them on major arteries. But if you're in a neighborhood where there's a lot of sign ordinances, then you can go to the party stores, the service stations, the liquor stores, the retail outlets, and put your signs up facing the parking lot or facing the gas pumps, and now you've got a captive audience looking at those that say you buy houses for cash. So then another really good system is one that Maureen, and she's here with me, she's going to talk about it. It's about how to generate a buyer's list, or actually buy a list of motivated sellers and buy a list of owners that own a lot of properties in a given area, and I'm going to let her talk about that. So like this is one area, we're in Michigan, a really good suburb market is the city of Waterford. So here's an example of where she's scraped. How many got scraped, or how many got scraped?
Okay, so there were roughly 195 properties that were coming up as distressed homeowners for whatever reason. Could be various reasons. Could be, you know, late on credit card payments, car payments, whatever. A lot of them, their house also has to be, you know, probably a distress for them as well. So out of that 195, 148 came back with phone number and or email address, along with, could be multiple phone numbers. So it's just a very comprehensive list of only about 50 of them was I not able to get some way of getting in touch with them.
So, to make sure I understand, you got a list of people that could be in foreclosure, could
Correct.
be tax delinquent, headed for tax foreclosure.
Yes.
But there's motivation there
Yeah,
for
and
one
these would all
form or
be,
another.
yeah, and these would all be probably pre-foreclosure. So it would be, you know, just as they're falling behind in some type of payment, they have a way of, you know, noting that. They're using, you know, information from credit bureaus and whatnot, so.
So, this is a list that, what I'm currently doing with this list is I have, I don't know if I told you this, Maureen, but I have emails going out to all those owners that says, I want to buy your house. And then I'll follow that with more emails going out. So,
And you can see the 5th column over
yeah,
is specifically email.
yeah,
So, the 6th column would be phone numbers, but the 5th column is email there, and there's pretty much a very detailed list where we were able to capture most of those, and those would be verified emails as well.
yeah. Oh, that's really important.
Yeah.
So you've now got a verified email.
Right.
We're emailing them, and so we consistently just keep emailing them and generate leads.
Yeah, you have multiple ways of getting out in front of these people, via text message, via phone
Mhm.
call, via email, via door knocking, you know, regular
Right.
mail, whatever. You have multiple ways of getting in front of these folks to let them know that you're interested in their property if they're interested in selling.
So now, as a real estate investor, the other way I use Maureen's services is, we get a house tied up, like we've got one in the Flint market now. It's not actually Flint, it's like a suburb of Flint. So Maureen was able to go in and pull a list of all, because this is an investment type property, she pulled all the multiple owners and pulled this exact same information. So now we can find existing landlords that might own 20 or 30 or houses, and we're able to tell them, we've got a property here, would you like to buy it? So this
Yeah,
is
because I can pull by zip code, it can be cash, can be multiple cash owners, various different ways of scraping for the information that you're specifically looking for.
So she's got this proprietary system that works. So if you're interested in that, you wanna tell them.
Okay, so the pricing is basically this. If you're a member of you have to be a member of the www.27monthlymeetup.com. Again, it's $27 a month. But in addition to getting the videos and the forms and everything that you're gonna need in order to be actively working in the real estate investing business, you're also going to get the ability to have lead searches per zip code across the country. Motivated sellers, distressed properties, cash buyers with multiple properties. So for the next 72 hours, people that sign up today, and this is a minimum of 6 months, I'll do 100 leads for $100 a month.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've got interest, another way to outsource stuff instead of you killing yourself trying to go do it all yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, lessons I've learned in business is, when I was in the real estate business, I had a huge office. Office rent was $6,000 a month. So today I have no office. My office is my bedroom, and I'm a nationwide business, and I showed you all the companies I'm generating leads for, so I have no overhead cost of the office. And my labor cost is extremely low because I'm using a worldwide market, and I'm using college graduates in other countries, and I'm paying good money for what that country, for what they would make in that country, but if you compared it to the US, it's incredibly great pricing. Like I said, I can outsource you 40 hours worth of work a week for less than $6 an hour.
Oh, and Mark, can I just ask this question? So when you say they're college graduates, but they have some background in what it is that you're having them do. I mean, it's not just like they went to school for something else and now all of a sudden they're working for you and, and they're passive.
They're internet
Yes,
marketers.
correct, so they
they're
know
trained.
what they're doing, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
quality people.
Correct.
And just to give you an idea, I have like, people working with me that have been with me since 2008.
Okay, so there's
So,
longevity there, it's
yeah.
not like you're moving around, okay,
Right.
good.
So, and I've taken that system and using those people and applied it. So now, I'm gonna get real specific about real estate here in just a second. So, when we talked about the appliance guy that's doing lots of calls, so the system, so map locations. So, what are these? Let's take a look. So here's one that says cash for your house, Detroit. So you can see if you, are looking at the PowerPoint, my map location is the only one that comes up because it's more relevant. And there might be a lot of people competing for me, and I have to come up under all kinds of search phrases, like we buy houses, cash for your house, sell your house quick. So there's a lot of keyword terms that you have to look at and figure.
Keywords and taglines?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the top when you do a Google search and you start typing in cash for your home, it'll print out other search terms and it'll show you the most relevant ones. So you have to score for all those terms. So,
Okay. And when you're building your maps, those are kind of built into the background of your map?
They
So
are.
that way it picks up on every single one of those items?
yeah, so
Okay.
when we build this particular map location, we need to have directory sites
Sure.
that say the same name. Cash for your house, Detroit. And it also needs to have the same phone number. We're using local phone numbers, so you wanna go to a site called Twilio, Twilio, and buy your phone number there. You have to program the numbers. You'll have to do a Google search to find out how to program them. But then you can program that number to forward to your phone number. And this is what we put together for people. So if you're a real estate investor, we can get you, a lot of map locations where all those numbers are forwarded. So let me just give you another example. So we do another Google search. Now we're in Michigan, so it says cash for your house, Macomb. Macomb County is an entire county. Just off of this one map location, 2 weeks after it was up, I got a house that, now, I'm the lead generator, so I sent this house to another wholesaler. He went to the house, struck the deal. He generated a $16,000 markup, got the house sold, closed. Now, as the lead generator, he gave me a copy of the closing statement showing that he got the $16,000. I was paid an $8,000 finder's fee on that. So that one map location did me really right. So, here's another example of Oakland County. There's 3 main counties in Michigan where the biggest population is. It's Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County. So there's another example, and if you start doing cities, but I've got 30 of these maps in my area that I'm generating the leads. Now, I usually take the phone calls, so I'm going to, when I take the phone call, what I have is also, I have the phone call recorded. So, you know, like I might be out driving or something, I'm getting a call, so it's recording the call and I'm asking all the questions, finding out the motivation, getting their phone number, but the call's being recorded, so I can keep doing my other work, it records it. Then I can either send the recording to the person I'm sending the lead to, and, or, you know, like if I wanna actually go do the calls and sit down in their house and make the deal, then I can do that. I do not have time for that. So I do the lead part. So the keys to maps, just because you have a map, remember we talked about pizzas, just because you have a map, when you pull it up on a Google search, there's only gonna be 3 of them shown, but you might have 50 competitors. So you have to have your map be one of those 3. So how do you get it to be one of those 3s is you're gonna order directory sites that have those names. But then you have other terms you want it to show up for, so you may have to order more directory sites with that name, the same location, with the same phone number. And remember, if you're a business where you go to the customer, you do not have to show your address. So now you're a real estate business and your mother lives in one city and your wife's mother lives in another city, or father, and you've got friends and family. Now you can expand out to more map locations because you're going to order the map and you can work out of their house, and Google's gonna send you back a PIN number, and we're gonna put the PIN number in that's verifying that you actually have a physical location. You go to the customer, so then it's gonna get it up there. So now once you've got the map built and it's up, then you need to start doing the directory sites. You need to do social profiles with the same name on it. And there's a lot of work that goes into getting you into that top 3 position. So after generating it, we talked about directory sites, the social media sites. We do review you need to ask people to give you a good review, friends and family, people that you work with. You need to put pictures on your site that have the keyword in the picture, like cash for your house, with a picture of a house that you bought, or one that you can use. If you don't own your own pictures, then there's sites where you can get those where it's all right to use somebody else's picture. So you want to do press releases, because what you're doing with the press releases, you've got a more authority type site that gets posted to some of the news channels. So it's a high domain, high authority site that has the name of your map, has the phone number of your map, has the location of your map. So that creates a citation. They call that NAP, name, address, and phone number. And you have to have many locations to be able to do it. You have to have, I use a private blog network for some of it. I use various automated software. I used a tiered citation. In other words, if I build a Yelp, Merchant Circle, Hot Frog directory site supplying that map, I want to create backlinks to those maps where I'm going to use all the keywords like quick sale house, or quick cash for your house, we buy houses for cash, all those different names that are creating backlinks. We'll do maybe like 40 or 50,000 backlinks to those directory sites. So that becomes real intense. So, and that's the outsourcing service I'm talking about that I do, but there's a lot more to that. So the good news is you can do this yourself, or if you don't want to do this, we're an expert at doing it. Talk to us. I can only work with one customer in a given area. So you could do the outsourcing for less than $6 an hour, $235 a week. But there's a lot more that comes with that than just what I'm showing you here, and I'm going to go over that. So you can contact me at 248-939-6232, or my name, maupin.mark@gmail.com. But other services that we provide you WordPress sites with custom headers. So like if you're building a site that you buy houses for cash, we can do that. Or if you're doing one where you want, where you're like a listing agent, we can create that site for you. We'll add local pages to each one of those sites, or we can build separate local pages. We can do as many Google Map locations as you want, as long as you have the address and it's appropriate. We're gonna do the social profiles, all those things that I showed you that you have to do to get the maps up, the citations. We're gonna do bookmarks, real simple syndication. We're gonna also have the ability to do the emails for you. We have email scraping capabilities, so if you want to scrape like what we talked about, like the yellow pages or other things scraped on the internet, we can do it. When you're sending somebody an email, you have to have their permission to do the email. It's either implied or they've actually given you their email that you can email them. Implied means their email's on the internet. When you send them an email, you have to have an opt-out on your email so that so they can opt out of the system if you want. We'll help you with your research. We'll do data entry. We'll do spreadsheet creation and management. We'll do phone tracking systems and programs. We can do email blast. We can do phone blast too. So the things to take with you, is that, you know, in real estate and everything, you make lots of mistakes. You gotta keep trying different things. So I call it going to the kitchen. So like, at one point I worked for some locksmiths, and locksmiths have an algorithm from Google that are about impossible to get a locksmith site up. We would do stuff like, I found bailiffs that we could generate leads, build Google Maps and generate leads for a bailiff. The only problem was the bailiffs really didn't have the money to pay for the leads at the prices we wanted, so we learned that didn't work. So basically, you gotta make those mistakes, and if you're not making some failures and making mistakes, then you can't move forward. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the kitchen here in just a minute. So one of the things we provide when you do the outsourcing with us is we're gonna go ahead and pay for the membership to the 27 monthly meetup, because what that's gonna give you is training on wholesale training, find, fix and flip, landlording, how to start your business, how to create a limited liability company, all the forms you want. It's just chock full of all kinds of training. So we're just gonna pay that for you so that you've got access to that training. If you're not gonna join it, you just wanna rent one video, you can do that. Or if you wanna join and get the 3 videos a month and have access to all the past stuff we did, this is a great resource. So let me go back to the kitchen here just one more time. So out of going to the kitchen, I've got certain companies that I've worked for where I can tell you, if you're a deep-pocketed person and you're watching this, I have 2 different businesses that I could dominate the internet on for franchises. They're both service-related businesses. They would be a low-cost franchise to be able to get, but we can supply the calls that would majorly get them up there. So, and I'm actually looking for a partner to get into that with, and it's a very low-cost dollar item to jump into. So if you're interested in that, please give us a call. So now we're gonna talk about being able to get a transaction coordinator, and I'm gonna take a break here for just a second because I need to get Maureen back.
We'll cut it.
We'll do this as a separate video.
Yeah, she really needs to be mic'd. I'm picking her up, but I gotta crank it to get her.
Alright. So,
Let me go get her.
yeah, because she understands this way better.
Your section. Your section. Mark, how you doing? Rocker?
Is there a meeting?
Just for us. We're just recording.
Oh, like that.
Okay, we're still on.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her the mic.
Oh,
You're hard to pick up.
Oh,
with
am
the-
I?
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna yell.
Oh. Okay, I mean, I could sit closer if you wanted me to sit like right in front of it.
But I'll just use this,
Okay,
because it's really you, it's these 2 slides and we're done.
okay.
So,
Can you
so
hear me
let,
now? I don't hear anything.
can I just talk in loud? It won't
No.
pick me up? It won't pick me up.
I don't hear anything.
I mean, I picked you up, but you're real quiet. It's gonna be bad audio.
Okay.
Well, that's why I thought, can I just sit in front
Well,
of it?
hang
Will it
on,
pick
then
me
what
up
I'll
if
do
I'm
is-
sitting there and just talking at it?
I'll start it out then,
Yeah, why don't you move over here, Maureen, and then.
and then I'll
That's
just
what I'm
hand you the
saying.
mic and
I
you
can
can
sit
talk.
right in front, right here.
So we're gonna do a separate video of this.
Okay. So if I'm talking like this, can you hear me?
No, I'm gonna hand this to you.
Did you shut that off, Mark?
It's
Well-
not picking anything up,
Not
that's
picking
what I
you-
said.
Oh, did I turn it off? Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Testing, it's showing Mark's going through. Hello,
Oh, I heard it for a second.
now
I
we're
hear-
good. Hello,
I hear, but
hello?
I'm not picking anything up on this thing.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
there we are. I was talking too loud.
Ah,
Maybe. Okay, cool.
So what we're gonna be talking about, for this short, video is we're gonna talk about how you can, outsource your real estate business as an investor in Michigan. There's like, I know about 5 or 6 investors that use this service and they're incredibly happy with it. In fact, I just used it to do a real estate transaction. I didn't do the purchase agreement. I used a licensed transaction coordinator that put all the paperwork together for me, got it to the closing table, got the payoffs, did the corporate resolutions, did everything for me. And it was an incredibly low cost, and when I look at how valuable my time is, it was an incredible deal. So, I'm gonna let, Maureen talk about this a little because she's working directly with a lot of the agents that use this service. So I'm gonna hand the mic to her and she'll cover it.
Thanks, Mark. All right, so the real estate transaction coordinator from contract to closing, the pricing runs between $300 and $500. Melissa Hayes is our transaction coordinator here, and she works with several of the agents in my office as well as agents from other offices. Melissa has a background of over 20 years in title, and so she's very skilled at being able to assist in cleaning up some title liens and whatnot, and she's been extremely instrumental, especially when we find these mortgages that haven't been properly discharged. She kind of hunts them down like, a dog with a bone there. So she oversees all aspects of the buyer and seller transactions from executed purchase agreement to closing, coordinates the title, escrow, mortgage loan, and appraisal process. She also coordinates the inspections and assists in negotiations regarding repairs and coordinates the completion of those repairs. She regularly updates and maintains all communication with the clients, the agents, the title officer, lender, etc. She is a mobile closer as well, so she has the skills to close the files using her notary and does that frequently for us here at Villa, so it works out real well. She submits all necessary documentation to the office broker for file compliance. She coordinates the moving and possession schedules and coordinates and attends the closing process, inputs all client information into client database systems, schedules 30-day, 90-day, and 120-day client customer service follow-up calls to assist with any home improvement provider recommendations and to ask for referrals for these agents. So I can speak specifically about a couple of agents. One of them works with my brokerage and one with a RE/MAX brokerage. And the two together actually do a lot of business, and she's able to coordinate for both offices to make sure that the files run really smoothly, and they work great together, so. Okay, so we have the a la carte program, as we like to call it, and these are individual services that she can offer, which is to prepare the purchase agreement and disclosures. As you can see, that's $50. Prepare the assignment of purchase agreement for $25. She can help you with your MLS listing for $50, MLS updates for $25. She is a mobile notary and provides that service for $150. Remember, that's her driving to where the closing is or wherever you need her to notarize documents. The notary service in itself, if you come to her, is $100, so it's only it's a $50 trip charge. Deed or doc prep, $75. Deed with doc prep with notary is $125. Deed or doc prep with mobile notary is $175. Order title is $20. Order payoffs is $25 per payoff. To clear the title case by case starts at $100 minimum and then $15 per hour. I watched her literally work on a case from Colorado that the mortgage company had closed. They didn't do a discharge. The company that picked it up also had closed and had sent the balance of his loan to a collection company. So she literally had to research it through the IRS, was able to track down who the, person was that could release the loan, get a payoff, and do all of that in about 6 hours, and she managed to even close the file, so, from here. So she's, like I said, really skilled at that. She orders the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, for $50 and markets the property for $100. So $100 to market the property. What we're talking about is like the Craigslist and putting it out there with MailChimp and all of that.
Email blast.
Yeah, you got it. Email blasting and all of that good stuff. So again, very skilled at all of that.
So this completes the video. She's a great person to work with. Please call her if you're interested. Thanks.